Good morning, everyone, or a great day to you all. Welcome back to another cup of conversation with me, Nidra Simmons. Sorry, I want to get a little sip of that this morning. I want to just have a conversation about deja vu. And anything related to that word, deja vu. I want to start off by reading Ecclesiastes 1. I'm going to read the entire Ecclesiastes 1. Hopefully I can get through that without stuttering and it can be fast. But that, I think, can relate to deja vu or been here before or starting something that is not new but new at the same time, because let me read the verse and we'll get further into it. This is entitled Everything is Meaningless in the title in the Bible. But it says, the words, and if there's any music playing in the background, I don't own the rights to that. That's just music playing. It's the radio in the background. Ecclesiastes 1, verse 1, all the way through the end. The words of the teacher, son of David, king of Jerusalem. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher, utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What do people gain from all their labor, all which they toil under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south and turns to the north. Round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. The place the streams come from, they return again. All things are worrisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear is filled of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, look, this is something new. It was here already long ago. It was here before our time. No one remembers the former generations, and even those yet to come will not be remembered by those who followed them. That was Ecclesiastes 1 through 11, that entire verse. But it's not the end of the chapter, so let me go on a little further. That cuts off the first section where it was talking about meaningless. But I also want to add into another part of that. Same chapter, same verse. It's entitled, Wisdom is Meaningless. I, the teacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem. I applied my mind to study and to explore by wisdoms all that is done under the heavens. What a heavy burden God has laid on mankind. I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. What is crooked cannot be straight. What is lacking cannot be counted. I say to myself, look, I have increased in wisdom more than anyone who has ruled over Jerusalem before me. I have experienced much of wisdom and knowledge. Then I applied myself to the understanding of wisdom and also of madness and folly. But I learned that this too is chasing after the wind, with much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief. Okay, that was in the Old Testament out of the book of Ecclesiastes, again, 1 through 18. And I hope you got that out clear. It was broken down into two parts. But I always say, or if you watch me, you'll hear me say many times that there's nothing new under the sun. And I was, when I woke up this morning, I was sitting here thinking, and I was thinking about this for a couple of days in and out, but it's been over a year since I've been recording videos. And I went back and looked at the very first video I did all the way up to right now. And when I first did this, I had no idea what I was doing. I just felt like I needed to go and get these things so I can go ahead and start the video. And as I was looking at myself, I was like amazed. I mean, I was interested in looking at myself talk back to me. So I got a visual of my higher self teaching me to get to that point. And I was sitting here thinking, I said, I was doing this for over a year. And I had most of the stuff that I come out and talk about is not scripted. When I first started, I would go sit down, I would breathe, I'd meditate, I'd relax, I'd hit record and just let whatever come out, come out. Throughout the time, there's been things that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to come out like I didn't know what I was talking about. So I would go and get research and start putting some of that research and information in my text when I talk, so that you guys can go and see where it's coming from. Because I'm like, wow, that's a lot of videos. And I've been on most of the internet platform: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure I say that right, because I was saying TikTok before, but TikTok. And I've put videos out, and when I went back to look to see if they were actually being viewed, they were being viewed. And it surprised me, because I was like, when you go and you look at the people that respond, it's like a lot less than what I looked at as far as it was viewed, or how many times it played on the internet. Saying all that to say, again, there's nothing new under the sun. It's only new because it's a new person going through that experience. And I found reference in the Bible that talked about how there's nothing new under the sun. So, and also talked about deja vu. We are here as individuals to help one another. Some of us want to do that, and others don't. They just want to receive help and never give help. And I was just sitting here wondering, okay, so how can I come out and discuss this? Because I feel so passionate about what I want to say, but I want to make sure it comes out so that it's helping somebody else at the same time. But when I read this verse, these verses in Ecclesiastic, it was like, okay, that's something that relates to what I was talking about. And I also want to talk about deja vu, about how we may have felt like we've been here before. I know as I was growing up, I used to go places and I used to get these feelings in my stomach, almost to where it was nauseous. And then I'd get real dizzy. So it'd be like a nauseous type dizziness combined together from the inside that would come up and then come out. I'm still in my body. I'm going through it. I can't explain what I was feeling, but I know that it felt like I've been here before. And over the years, it gotten lighter and lighter and lighter, to the point to where it kind of just faded. But when I was young, I'm like, why am I going through these spells of just, it's like I've been here before. And even people, I can walk and I can look at a person and I'm like, or even have a conversation. I'm like, I think I've spoke to you before. But they be like, no, I don't know who you are. Excuse me, I'm outside and my allergies is cutting up. I took something, but I ain't kicking yet. Not that you need to know all that, but anyway. It was just interesting to me to go back and think and look at how far I've come and how things I felt before, and I now have answers to it now when I didn't have answers to it then. So it's Sunday. It's a beautiful day outside. If you can, get into a quiet place and just reflect. Reflect back to who you were, who you are, and who you want to be. Where do you want to go? Because if you do that, you'll realize how strong and how powerful you are, and how determined and how resilient, I got to say that word right, resilient, how strong you are and how you can, make it through a lot of things. There is no blueprint for each individual of how their life is going to lay out. Life is what you make it. Life is going to be how you perceive it. You could be someone that tells all of your business to the people so that people know what's going on and they keep track of what's going on with you and just talk it out. It's not nobody else's business. But you can be that type of person, or you could just be the type of person that just observes. You can be going through things on your own, but you don't want to share it out to others because, like I was humbled the other day, whether or not a person's having a good or bad day, they can lash out at you. And they can let you know, honey, or boo-boo, your situation ain't nothing compared to mine. So I've learned not to I've learned not to discuss my business. I know that I don't look like what I've been through, but I do know what I've been through. Just like some of you out there may not look like what you've been through, but you know you've been through some stuff. It's nobody else's business to know about what you went through. I know that when I was younger, I used to want to tell things because I wanted people to feel sorry for me and want to help me. But I learned through life, people don't give a flying whoopee cushion about what is going on with you. If you are able to give, that's all they're concerned about. They just want to take. So I went through life I've gone through life doing things of my own with the hopes of, someone having a compassion, a heart, and would help me just like I helped them. No, honey. People out there will just watch you fall down. And I later on realized that everybody don't think like you think. Everybody don't act like you act. Everybody don't talk like you talk. And I was broken when I came down to North Carolina, because when I was in Connecticut, I used to think that, in Connecticut, people help people. Believe it or not, they help people there. I came down here, not so much. They rather see you go through because they want to be better than you. In Connecticut, women help women. Like when I worked at the jobs that I worked, I've always worked, and none of this stuff is new. I've said it in past videos. That's why I'm going back to there's nothing new under the sun. But what I was saying, in Connecticut when I worked, I always try to train people to go further. I train people to do my job so that I can get promoted to go to the next job. So I'm not leaving nobody behind, or I'm not leaving the job in a predicament to where they can't help nobody. So that's just how I feel we should be. But everybody don't think that way. I came down to North Carolina. It was like a competition. I came down to North Carolina during the time, the place I was working at. There was requirements. You had to go and further your education and get degrees to keep that position that you were in at that job. I came in already with my degrees, and I couldn't get no job. I couldn't get the job that was worth my pay. Let me go back. When I came down here, I transferred from one job to another job, and I kept my pay. That was good. But then that job went out of business, so then I had to figure out what to do. So I went from a decent amount salary to a very low amount salary, and I had to start all over again. And I had to do all that without people having compassion and help for my situation. I used to tell my business and thinking that they will feel sorry or show some compassion. They act like they're concerned, but when it came down to it, when I got to another predicament to where I had to completely do things on my own, to asking for help from people, and people didn't help me, where I had to get help from my children, which was very embarrassing for me. I know that, you raise your family, you raise your children to help one another, but it's different when it's you that's needing the help from your family, from your children. Okay? But I'm not saying this to knock down on nobody. If you raise your kids right and they help you, then let them help you. You raise them right. It's not going to be a forever thing. It's a temporary situation, and this situation shall pass. And that's easier said than done, trust me. But my kids helped me during the time where my husband passed away. And, whew, get away. And, in Connecticut, my mom was a single parent. And the church, I seen how the church helped her. I later found out that she had to pay the church back. But I've seen that they would help her, and she was a single parent. So I put in my mind thinking, okay, so that's how all churches are. I came down here. I was in a church. It was a beautiful church. I felt like I was loved until my husband passed away. And then when my husband passed away, I felt like a third wheel. I felt like I don't belong. I felt like this is not where I am supposed to be. So I left. And when I was in need of help, to where You know, I was at one house going into another house, and I had a child that had a medical surgery done, and I had to pay. Mind you, I'm on my little small salary. I'm paying rent for 2 places. Still have to pay tithes at the church, and I'm in a bind. I don't know how I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Well, always trust in God. And I didn't do my spiel, so let me do it now. I give honor to God. I give honor to Jesus. I give honor to the Holy Spirit. I give honor to all of the angels, guardian angels, archangels, all in the highest Christed light. I give honor to our ancestors, guardian ancestors. I give gratitude and much respect to all of my entire spirit team. And God is always in a class by itself. So again, I'm going to go back and say thank you, God, for everything. God knows all, sees all, hears all. He places people in your life to help you in your time of need. So I just want to give gratitude and give thanks to them first and foremost. I didn't do that at the beginning of the video, but trust and believe I always give gratitude, and I thank them for grace and mercy. Thank God for grace and mercy daily in my life. Mother, Father. All right, so let me go back to what I was saying. And I don't know how it went into this situation, but I'm going to let it flow because I do believe everything happens for a reason, time, and season. But anyway, and I'm not here to throw nobody under the bus. I'm just trying to go back to what I started with was deja vu, nothing new under the sun. And in the verse that I was reading, it talked about how all things can be worrisome. And this whole title, this whole text was labeled meaningless. Everything is meaningless. Wisdom is meaningless. It's not meaningless if you learn from it. But if you don't learn from it and you just repeat and don't care and just let things pass, then it's meaningless. But everything that you go through is a life lesson. It is something you're supposed to learn from so that you can help yourself and help others. But as I was saying, I had to put my trust in God even the more. I took my family and we moved down from Connecticut to North Carolina. Never been out of Connecticut until I moved. And and all my family was in Connecticut. I came down to North Carolina to my husband's family, but my family wasn't there. My mom, our relationship was like this. We were real close. I see my mom every day. We talked every day when I was in Connecticut. When I came down here, it got a little bit different because my life got really busy to where I couldn't talk to her as much. And that relationship was it was divided because it wasn't the same as what it was. And so I had to be out here completely fleshly by myself. Yes, I had a husband, but my husband didn't think the way that I think. He didn't talk the way that I talk. He didn't live the way that I live. We are 2 individuals that came together to form little individuals. And I was down here without the help of my mom and my mother-in-law at the time. But, you know, saying all this to say, there's nothing new under the sun. People will have to leave their comfort zone to go and learn and to find meaning and direction and go and live that path that they're living. This video is getting lengthy, so let me see how I can wrap it up. But what I do hope that you get out of this whole conversation is that there's nothing new under the sun, that we are going to go through some things, and we're going to have to make some changes. It may seem meaningless at the time because you're not understanding why you're going through all the stuff that you're going through, but trust and believe it's a lesson that's going to help you along the lines, down the line of life. And if you are into recording and making documentations to help others, take some time to look back at those videos and see how far you have come. See how much you have learned. See how once shy, not shy, you have grown into. I just hope that I said something that was helpful, and that these videos that I do come out and talk about, it's for help. It's for the purpose of helping. I never ask for money for anything that I do. I did come on one time to ask for some help because my son was going to college, but that was the only time. I would never ask, and that was only if you wanted to. But I don't ask for any funds or any money for these posts that I do to help others. I do to encourage others, to let people know that, let those that who are by themselves, who think that they're by themselves, that they're not really by yourself. You have a spirit team out there that is batting for you. And I am ever so grateful that I have come to my realization that I'm not by myself. I may not have all the physical people here to help me like I want, but I do have a spirit team that is awesome. God is awesome. God knows all, sees all, and he will always be there for you. So if you haven't done anything or get anything out of this message, just know that there's nothing new under the sun. God, the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore, is the same God that has been there for me and has been there for you. So don't ever think that you're by yourself. Don't ever give up. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. The key to making it in this world is to love yourself. Also set boundaries, because you're going to need some boundaries. Because if you have a good heart, it's easy for people to take advantage, and some of these people out here just don't care. So don't make your heart hard like those people. Don't let the things that happen to you in your life turn you into an evil person. I'm thinking about Snow White and what is that? No, Magnificent, whatever. The lady with the black, who was a very nice person in the beginning, and then in the end, she let the world make her heart hard. Don't let the world do that to you. That light, look at that light. You see that light? You see that light? God is on time and on cue. That light that's within you, let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. And always love yourself. Love God. He'll love on you. Give God the glory every day. Thank your spirit team every day. And if you need help, ask. All you got to do is say, dear God, spirit team, I need help. I need guidance and direction on this day. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to look out for what it is that you need me to see. And I'm going to take that as a tool to help me throughout the day. So until next time, stay strong, keep some boundaries, love yourself, love God, give God the glory. Until next time, I love you, God loves you. Peace.